Good morning. Welcome to what I call Freaky Fridays. It is 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm here in Austin, Texas, USA. Initially, I put up today was going to be some sexual Taoist practices and some dance alchemy. And I woke up today full of rage. I'm just like vibrating. And I wanted to come and talk about that because I feel like many of us have been processing and feeling a grossly huge amounts of rage for a pronounced period of time, maybe a few years now, really collectively purging that up. I see it a lot, I hear it a lot. And the biggest thing I see and hear is that people are struggling. They are struggling with having this amount of rage to process and no understanding of how to do that in a safe and healthy way, or to find the space to do that in a safe and healthy way, and all sorts of reasons. And I am a very sensitive being. I have always been. And so there's many things that can feel very like hurtful to me and my soul, even when people are not intending it to be at all. And it's something that I've learned about myself, and I really have to be willing to speak up when that happens, and to clarify with the other individual what their intent was. Because there was so much wounding that I had from being a child when people were, constantly humiliating me, or other things that neurospicy people kind of encounter as they are growing up, as well as childhood trauma stuff. So it's been quite a journey for me to really have to dive in and learn how to be with and manage these deep feelings of rage that are also often intertwined with like a deep grief. Because for me, what happens is that my rage, I don't know about yours. I don't know how much you've spent time with. I spend a lot of time with my rage. I like to know my rage, because I really wanted to be in my power and I was not going to let it control me. And so a lot of my rage comes from experiences that I have been programmed or conditioned or trained to tolerate that are just not okay with me. And going through my own personal journey and unraveling that, there was so much tied into that, within my relationships with both men and women, but especially those in particular in places of authority that uphold certain values and principles that we often see in Christian rhetoric. And that was very damaging to me and my personal journey and my soul growth. And I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and say that I think religion is terrible, because that is not the truth of what I think. The truth of what I think is that when you really understand and see the world as it is, with acceptance, and through the lens of reality, I don't necessarily love everything about the way this world works, but I understand it, and it actually makes sense to me energetically, the way it works. Which, while sometimes is like, it actually creates a huge sense of relief for myself, because I know that I have the power and capacity to change things for myself because I see that. I think what is the biggest heartache struggle for me is those that I love, or just other people around, because I'm a very soft-hearted person, where I see them struggling and I'm like, oh man, you don't see what's happening energetically, and that's just continuing to feed that thing you really don't want. And also, though, everyone's here on their own journey and path to figure it out. And that's been hard for me, because I have sometimes a vision where I can see all these things and I can see so many potential pathways. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I just want to help everyone. And then I have to realize, I can't do that. And also, I am not here for everyone. And even though I might be a person that can see things for you and guide you and support you, I still might not be the person you want to do that with. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, this kind of work, yes, please find someone that knows what they're doing, that can guide you with love, and really like understanding. But there are, I think, at this point, so many healers that are really doing their work and that can really support you through some beautiful things. And so, most importantly, is creating that sense of safety, and that sense of like, oh, this person can carry me through and inspire me through what I need to get through. And so, those factors are so key. All right, enough of my little sharing of things. But if you're catching me on social medias or on replay, please, please, please feel free, share, like, subscribe, click all the things on the screen. Please send the donations. It's so much appreciated. It supports me and my beautiful, incredible 8-year-old son in living our life with ease and unconditional love, as well as supporting me and continuing to offer services to the world and offer my soul purpose, which I don't know, I feel is interconnected with everyone's, to be honest. And I think we all support each other in that way. So I'm just happy to be here doing my part and supporting in the ways I can. So, okay, rage and anger. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. And so I am not going to go too much into it, but I do want to talk a little bit about anger. I also think I'm going to throw out some journaling questions that I tend to use when I'm exploring my relationship with anger, so I can really kind of deep dive. And these are questions that I use continuously to dive deeper. And so that's what I love, because it really helps you unravel the layers. Yeah. And so I'm just going to read off those questions here. And that way, if you're watching this, you can pause, come back and get them. You can find a replay that will be up on Shmutube, on Guloob. There we go. I'll do that one. Man, this is going to be so interesting, finding ways to communicate in code when I'm someone that loves to be so transparent. But I'm gonna figure out a way to have fun with this. Is what I'm gonna do. So some of these journaling questions that you can ask yourself if you really do want to start to have a better relationship with your anger and the information that it's giving to you. Because to me, what I've understood is your rage, your anger, it's sacred. It is letting you know when something has imposed on your personal divinity. And it is your responsibility to understand that message and bring back balance and harmony to your energetic system. And so the first question that I always like to explore as I'm having new anger come to reveal itself is, what is my relationship to anger in this moment? And that question would be, do I feel free to express my anger? And then the second question I will ask myself, and I will journal with, can I feel and express my anger without throwing it at someone else? And can I own the emotions as my own? I'm going to be real honest. This one can be real hard for me. I think for all humans, there's always that part of us that's like, oh, but you made me feel this. And it's like, yes, this person impacted you in a way, or this situation, this experience, these actions impacted you in a way that evoked this. And it's a not okay. But it's still, at the end of the day, something that only we, the feeler, can take responsibility for and shift. And it can be a frustrating experience sometimes when you don't understand it. But the more it starts to make sense, the more you start to be able to take responsibility of these things and work through it, it really shows you where your power truly lies. And so the third question that I will ask myself in my exploration is, what are my deepest beliefs about anger? What will happen to me if I feel and express my anger? And what will I gain from feeling and expressing my anger? What will I lose? And do I have to express my anger at someone? Ooh, This is beautiful, and I myself am going to go and actually journal in with these questions after the live, or after I drop off my son. So maybe I'm going to pop on later on and actually do that live on here if there's any folks that would like to join me and do that with me. And so with this and my own personal exploration right now, I'm going to actually be asking myself these questions within the framework of in moment of injury. Because what I'm finding is I've started to really work with rage and anger for a few years now. And so I'm actually quite comfortable working with it when I can take space, when I can um, take time to regulate my nervous system. And then I feel really good with all those things. But my biggest challenge right now in relationship is that when I feel hurt or angry or betrayed, I shut down and I am not able to stay in connection with my feelings and my anger and to express them because I get so afraid that my expression is going to come across in such a way that I will damage or lose the relationship with the person I love, or I will start to fear that I am uncovering something in the relational dynamic that will means I will have to shift it in a way. And because I have had to detach from so many people in my life, it's excruciating for my heart when I start to feel or realize in a relational dynamic that the way someone is showing up for me isn't truly aligned or honoring of me. And also sometimes I can freak out, especially initially in the beginning when we're first creating that connection. Because it can be really easy in the beginning when those things to come up for all of that historical trauma to come up so strong and to really like get out of pocket and just be like and so it's really important in those moments, especially in the initial getting to know you of someone, that it's like when a boundary is crossed in a relationship or a boundary is discovered because it's been crossed, like that person didn't know, and so this is the moment to clarify all that. And so the real test is the second time it comes up or how that person shows up for your boundary. Are they like, "Ugh, I'm going to figure this out"? Or are they blowing it off like it's no big deal? And that's where you really start to see where the people you are relating to, how they are meeting you, and if they are at a place yet in their journey where they are capable of meeting you in such a way of really uncovering and exploring love in this way. I've really gotten to this place of understanding that we're in such phases of evolution all the time that even in our desire to experience love, like we got to go through the journeys and phases. And if we truly want to get to a space of creating a relationship based on unconditional love, of this idea of inner union, of divine partnership, which is not what I think a lot of you think it is. It's not this polarity relationship I think a lot of you think it is. I think that is a phase to the journey of that. I think it's a phase that I explored and I noticed for myself. Didn't feel quite it, which is what pushed me to continue to explore this journey and understanding. Um, yeah, and so coming back though, I want to stay focused because I know I can really go off on those tangents, and I noticed I felt that about myself in that moment. Another thing that I wanted to express about anger and most specifically venting, because that is the process we have that is going to allow us, in essence, to release these feelings and these emotions that have been stored up inside of us and that need to be moved, that need to be felt. And so, in that, anger and rage does need to be expressed. We do need to kind of vent and release. And also, there are ways to do that. They're more supportive for us and less supportive in the sense that this is an energy that we are moving, this rage. And if we are venting in a way that is gossiping or keeping us in a victimized perspective of the situation, we are actually creating more density and stickiness around the feeling. We're actually not really venting and letting it go, we're feeding it. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us do when we are angry and full of rage, because we haven't been taught how to healthily process it. And we're trying to talk about it. We're trying to figure it out. And so, some recommendations or guidelines that I always give if you're going to start working with venting practices is to never vent at someone or a situation specifically. You can utilize the experience of something or someone and then actually let out kind of communication around it. Be really mindful, though, not to get too focused on the story and the experience of the person. I would even suggest try using just sound and not actual words. Like, don't even name the person. You can use curses if you need, but just be really mindful not to create energy that's going to go and feed and perpetuate that situation. But instead, you want to make sure you're allowing that energy to come and unravel itself energetically and detangle and diffuse the situation. And you're going to feel that in your body. That's going to be the barometer for what tells you if you are doing this right. Your body will tell you, like, are you feeling tighter and tensed and more angry and like you want to hit people and kill them? You're feeding it. You're feeding it, babe. When you're softer and you're more open, you might still be angry. You might still be like, what the fuck? But you're gonna be soft and you're gonna be accepting and you're gonna know where to, like, remove yourself out of it and be in your peace. And most importantly, your brain's gonna work. Because what I find for me is the most frustrating thing is that my brain is affected so immensely when I'm feeling these feelings of anger and rage. And it's like, oh God, I can't get my shit done. And I love getting my shit done. I love being creative. I love exploring. I love playing. I love connecting with people. And all of that gets really interrupted if these feelings of anger and rage are just like ripping through my body with no space for expression. Don't be repulsed or get attached to your anger. A lot of us can feel so powerless that sometimes we feel like holding on to our anger makes us powerful. It doesn't. It's an illusion. But when we let it go, yo, let me tell you, underneath that, woof, that's going to be where your power is. And when you grab that, oh, you're going to see. You're going to see the shifts, the changes, the way your energy will move into a room and move things for you. Maybe the way in this moment you are feeling my own energy doing that for the work that I have done, the work that I will continue to do, the work that I will offer others to do, because I want everyone rising up and dancing with me. I like powerful people, and I like to hang with powerful people, truly powerful people. Live from the heart. All right. And so surrender. Surrender as much as you can into the emotion when you are working through it. Create a space to work through it. Make sure if you have roommates or neighbors or just people that are going to hear you as you're kind of taking this time to explore and play with these practices, let them know. Let them know that this is what you are doing. I'm in a household right now where my son's watching TV, my roommate's sleeping, so I'm probably going to mitigate my sound a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit more of a controlled expression. But I very much recommend playing around with exploring rage in spaces where you could be wild and free. Maybe if you're out in nature, maybe creating dance experiences or rage experiences. This is something I'll be working to create more regularly here in my home state of Austin in this next year. And then I hope to figure out how to create more of these spaces to really create spaces around the world for us to come and be together and on a weekly basis just really like process this stuff and like let it out, have some fun. Okay. And so I have many practices for processing and releasing rage. Like I do a whole workshop about it. I teach a whole thing. I'm not going to do that today. for many different reasons. But I am going to share a little bit about the practices. I'm going to do a chakra meditation, is what I'm feeling today, to have us do a little inner exploration around where anger is in our body. I'm feeling it right now, wrapped up in my solar plexus around my power system. And so I'm feeling really desiring to just like wrestle that out and make animal sounds. Like you can see my body's already just like and then after that, we're going to balance after the venting. And if you were with me yesterday and did those 6 healing sounds, we worked a little bit with the triple burner meridian, which is the last of the 6 silent sounds. And we're going to also use that same practice today after the chakra meditation and the venting and the letting things out, of gathering the chi to purify and cleanse our energy, and then pressing the energy down, coffee press through the body to really anchor and balance and harmonize ourselves. In that way, when we are working with these practices and opening up ourselves to releasing this rage, we don't just leave ourselves open in this super dysregulated system, or this potentially very open place in our system where maybe there's a lot of pleasure or pain or grief or whatever is moving through us, but just like in a more tender, vulnerable space. We want to make sure we bring our energy back to a place of neutrality, harmony, balance, so that we can still move and walk through life with grace and ease, even if as we are moving through these emotional and clearing processes for ourselves. Okay, cool. All right, I'm excited. I did not anticipate that I was going to come on here today and teach some rage stuff, but that's what spirit said. So that's what my body said. So I was like, okay, we doing it. The microcosmic orbit, we will see you next week. Okay, let me see. So here, taking a moment, starting to invite you to start getting into your body. And I want this to be super intuitive. You can be sitting, you could be standing, you could be laying down. You do whatever your body says it wants to do. Just really tune in and just start to intuitively move your body in ways that open you up. So like gentle rocking in the hips, maybe rolls in the ankles, or the knees, shoulders, just making small, gentle, natural, intuitive movements. And just breathing yourself into your body. Noticing what it feels like in your musculature and your fascia. Can you feel the bones in your system, your internal organs? Can you breathe into these spaces and explore? What do you know? Are you noticing tension, anger, rage? Mine is right here, actually. I thought it was in my solar plexus, but it's also here, wrapped around my heart. I'm angry about how I keep trying to love. And it doesn't seem like the way I want to love, like people are ready for. Ooh. I'm so tired. And you're gonna notice, and you're gonna feel this anger. You're just gonna let yourself go into it. You're gonna move. You're gonna express. You're gonna see how my body is doing this, and it's gonna come out different for you. But like, just let it go, man. Ooh. Right now, I'm feeling all of the anger, frustration, and the grief. You know how I'm mad at? You know who I'm really, really mad at? You know who I'm mad at the most? Me. Me. It's who I'm angry at. That's who I'm forgiving. Because guess what? Who was it that tolerated this? And then I have to remember and forgive myself. Because I tolerated this. I didn't know better. That's what I was taught. So I thought this was how I loved, how I gave love, how I would receive love. It was wrong. It taught me all wrong. And I got angry at them. Why did you teach me wrong? But then I kept looking at them. They were doing the same thing. They really thought that was the way. They didn't know better either. They were taught wrong too. Wait a second. Who's teaching us? We're teaching us. It's us. It's me. I have to keep slowing down. And honor myself. And it's okay. It's okay to go slow. In this world that makes me want to feel like I have to go fast. It's okay for me to question the way people are showing up and to use my discernment to not make excuses for their behavior, but to question and clarify, to see how they show up. That's okay. It's okay to protect myself and stand up for myself. It's okay for me to feel and express in the moment when things are coming up. Could let this energy, I'm feeling it, deep to my root now, my solar plexus, my sacral, my heart, and I'm just going to keep letting that energy move up and out through my crown. I'm not going to hold it in, but I'm going to let it come up and out. I'm kind of bouncing right now because my body is starting to want to do that, to move it. I'm feeling a little self-conscious and shy because I'm really letting it go to move through me. It's just always a little embarrassing as a human to let the emotion move through you this way. Yeah, it's okay. You can do this. You can hold yourself through this in the ways maybe others did it. And once you get comfortable doing that, you can even let others start to hold you. Maybe if you didn't have parents that were able to do that. And you know what, man? I get it. I was angry at my parents for a long time. They're doing their best, man. And I get it. Because, like, my mom had some stuff. She had some mental health stuff where she beat me, man. Like, she did some stuff that was... But she was doing her best. And it wasn't great for me. But I can appreciate that she tried her damnedest to show me that she loved me. And I can now receive that. And it took me a long time for that. It took me a very long time to be able to be open to that. Oh, if you're feeling any pain or resistance anywhere in their body as you're moving this, don't push past it. I'm feeling that because this pain has been stuck inside my body for my whole life. So I don't push past it. I just gently come and I visit, especially in times when I'm feeling this extra like flare up of irritation, and just let it, okay, it's okay. Let's move through this. Let's be water. Let's be water. Let's let the emotions flow. Be like water. Let the emotions flow. Be like water. Let your emotions flow. Be like water and flow. Be like earth and compost. Be like earth and compost. Be like fire and burn. Be like fire and burn. And so sometimes, as anger is starting to come up and express, as I'm noticing in my body, I'm feeling my body shut down. Oops, I don't feel safe. I'm expressing in ways I've been taught are no good. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. My inner child is feeling, unsafe, bad, we're gonna get in trouble. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay to be in your body. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel. You can feel. Yeah. You're allowed to feel and express. That's okay. You can move your body then and let your body express that way through sound and play. Because it can be really normal for that to happen when you're letting yourself feel things that historically have not been okay to feel. Chances are your nervous system and your body, things are going to come up and be like, no, we're not allowed to do that. That's not okay. Not safe. And that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Your body is intelligent and it's protecting you. So you can just come to play and shake it out. And then see if more. Just letting the energy move up through your body as much as you can, letting it come up and out the crown of your head to the earth, the cosmos, letting it purify out of you. and you're going to smash on things. Be mindful, keep the wrist straight, don't bend. You can break arms and things. You want to keep wrists straight. You want to maybe use pillows. Soft palm, soft closed fist are good, but just be careful. Keep your body safe even when you're expressing. Nothing like a little shamanic exorcism to clear your system and make you feel all better. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully, whomever is tapping into this and peeking in is finding this supportive for learning how to work with your own rage. And please feel free if you are popping up on this. Alchemizing sacred rage is one of the signature things that I work with. So if you want some one-on-one or a deeper dive into how to work with rage or more one-on-one practices, please feel free to find me. Linktree is on, I believe, all of my social media stuff right now. So you should be able to find me through there. Okay. Taking a moment to come back into the body. Being present with, noticing what's there. Wow, I'm feeling so, like there's still a lot of rage in my body, I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. I'm clearing out a lot for myself, generationally, the collective, and I know what I signed up for, but I do feel like the rage that I was kind of carrying with me this morning that was impacting like my ability to think and how I was feeling, like now I feel more spaciousness. I feel more bubbles and ripples of sensations of pleasure. Like, look at that, all goosebumps just from this, just from that, yeah. I just feel more spaciousness, more than the energy flow. And then I feel like now where it's expanding into the spaces that opened and then starting to gently kind of move into the spaces that are still feeling contraction. And I can feel where the air is kind of like dancing with it now, kind of like, hey, tight muscles over there. We're just gonna gently caress you and give you some loving massages until you feel ready to come play. But it's okay if you're grumpy, little muscles. We'll just give you some little breath massagey loves. And then those muscles are kind of like, I'm kind of cranky, but this feels kind of nice. Okay, maybe I can chill out a little bit. I don't feel so angry anymore. Oh, I love this. He's chilling out. Okay, he's ready for his massage there. And this is how I talk to myself and my body. But you know what? It really works, and I've gotten to know myself so well. And let me tell you, I adore myself. And it's really from this practice of getting to know myself. And I really hope that for all of you out there, you get a chance to really know and love yourselves too. Because let me tell you, the most incredible person that you are ever going to find for you is going to be yourself. And yeah, and that is a beautiful and healthy thing. And I am so excited for when humans in the world discover that in a good and beautiful, healthy way and balanced. Okay, let's see. I feel like I want to do just a little more release before I have us just sit and kind of be with the energies of the body, and a little bit of a silent meditation as well to end. And so this is a practice that comes from ISTA, uh, I have a lot of feelings about ISTA, I'm not going to lie, but I also like to let people know where the practices I got came from. And so there are many ISTA practitioners that I know that are beautiful, amazing people. There's just a lot that goes on behind the closed doors of spiritual realms. And I happen to know a lot. And for me, the foundation of something is very important. And if a foundation is rotten, unfortunately, to me, that seeps through everything. And so it can be very challenging for me to be associated with something, even when it has high integrity practitioners, if the foundational root has some sort of toxicity or corruption, because I can just sense that through permeating through. But that's me, and we all have our own separate journeys. And anyway, this practice comes from ISTA, the International School of Temple Arts, for those that are curious or work with them. And what you could do is you kind of place your hands like this. I also feel like these practices were probably Osho inspired. My teachers also were some students of Osho and were very inspired by his teachings as well. And you're going to cover mouth and nose, and then you're going to kind of do this, and with the arms hit against the sides, go back and forth, and just scream into the hands and just let that out. It's just and the reason that you create that movement, and you do, is that it really helps to kind of move that stagnant energy and emotion. And for those of you, I'm sure, that have decided they wanted to start working with their anger and their rage in a healthy way, you might have discovered that you're like, oh man, it's actually really hard to consciously decide to move this energy. It's very uncomfortable. And when I am in it and it starts to move, my body wants to like run away. And so you really have to kind of like start training yourself to, in essence, get off on the energy and the discomfort so that you can unravel, heal it. And that's a big part of what the Tantra journey can offer you. And there's a really incredible book that I am a fan of called Existential Kink by Caroline Elliott, who is also a student of my teachers and inspired by a lot of their work as well. And that has been a beautiful exploration for me of really learning how to traverse the shadow realms. It's very controversial. It can be a lot for some people because it really does come from that tenement that we create our own reality. And that is always going to feel a little cruel. And that perspective, it's going to be challenging because there's always the reality that in this world there are humans that are abusive to other humans in a way that is not okay and needs to be addressed. And at the same time, the energy that creates this experience is the energy of victimization. And from an energetic standpoint, that is what we are trying to take responsibility for and clear up as a collective. And so it's a sticky topic. It's big, it's deep, but we're ready to go in and clear this out as a collective. I feel that we're ready to feel and release our rage and release our fear. We're ready to get to know each other more, to be curious, to be in love with each other. All of us humans all around the world. That's what we're ready for. Let's do it. All right. So one more time, we're just gonna take some nice breaths together. Be a nice shake and just exhaling everything out. Inhaling. Exhaling out with a sigh. Taking some yawns. And so just taking a note, you can maybe close your eyes and just kind of tracking and seeing how the energy is moving through you and your body. Seeing where you can just soften into it. Breathing gently, fully, deeply, allowing it to immerse you. Doing that movement of the coffee French press, first gathering up all of the chi around you, this beautiful purified chi, and pressing down this luminescent liquid, allowing it to purify and invigorate every cell of the body. Inhaling, and you're going to exhaling down with a he. And do this 6 more times together. He. He. 3 more times. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's about 10 more minutes before it hits 7. I might pop off early just because I have my son, but I'm just going to kind of hang out here for, a couple minutes, maybe journal. Excuse me, I'm going to grab my water. Oh, my son drank all my water. I'll have to go down and get some more. And so something that I want to share. I work, as you are probably aware of, and if you are on this page and seeing me, with tantric and sexual practices for healing. And in that journey, something that I've learned is that the most important thing in that journey, first and foremost, is nervous system regulation, and learning how to be present with challenging emotions. Because working with that realm and these energies, it's the juicy stuff. This is the shadow work realm. This is where you start working with the unconscious and really discovering who you truly are as a person. And let me tell you, it's a We know that though. And a lot of us are getting more curious though and more excited about it. I love this for us as a collective. Humans are really finding their courage on letting go of their fear, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think beings like me have been waiting for this for a very long time. And so it's so important to make sure that you are honoring yourself and your body by learning how to work with these practices and to regulate your nervous system. And it is my greatest joy and pleasure to be your support system and guide on that journey, especially as you get ready to dive in for the deeper work and excavations of really exploring the conditioning and the programming and getting that out and upgrading new systems for yourself that are better and more fun, and then creating the life of your dreams. Okay. All right. See, look at me. I went from like, and now I'm like, ah. I wanted to give some time for like silence to be present with everything today, and that's just not where I'm at today. Today I'm just like, but I feel okay with that because I know earlier in the week we had lots of time with lots of dropping into the body and slowing, and now I'm feeling my nervous system being more like, oh, we are ready for some revved up movement. Yeah, that's where we are finding our juice right now. Oh, I'm feeling good this morning. Hoping I'm sending you those yummy vibes for your good day too. May you have an abundant day full of success, pleasure, and most importantly, love. May the day bring you joy in all you do. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. So, as always, please like, stream, subscribe, share. Man, Instagram. I hope you got my live because I keep realizing that I keep forgetting to go back to the Instagram to actually hit the go live after everything like clicks on and gets in. And I'm realizing I don't know then if it actually clicks me on to the live or not. But hopefully you guys got to see me and it's you got to ride the wave with me. And if not, hopefully my Insta family is seeing this and they will find me on Gulub, where the replays are hanging out for at least a week. And there should be at least, if you're getting this past the first week of me doing this, at least a week's worth of videos up on my Gulub at any moment in time until I decide I'm doing something differently. Um, and depending on the moment in time you're joining me. So, all right, cool. All right. I think I'm going to pop off a few minutes early, grab myself a little coffee, and then take my amazing little angel baby to school. Um, Man, thank you so much. It gives me so much pleasure and joy to share these practices on alchemizing and processing and being with rage and just being able to be an embodiment and example of that, because I know just how much joy and harmony and peace it can bring into our personal internal experience and how that impacts the greater world around us. So thanks again. I love you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. My friend's going to be with me tomorrow, so we're going to do some fun stuff and play. I'll call him tonight. We'll see. Okay. Bye.